Hi guys. I know it's late again. I must be killing you guys with the late videos this week. So today I wanted to talk about some of my favorite parenting myths. I've given you guys, as many tips as I can give you for things that have worked for me, then that have helped me to survive parenting for the past, 14 years. But today I want to talk about my favorite parent myths. Some of these things are kind of funny. They're funny to me. And I feel like some of us believe them because we just believe them and we don't look into them, and it's been said for so many years, so it must be true kind of thing. And one of my favorite ones is, you will spoil your baby if you pick him or her up every time they cry. Well, guys, that's a huge myth. When our children are born, one of the first things that they do is they're developing a sense of trust between them and you. If they cry, they obviously need something. So if they calm down when you pick them up, then pick them up, because you're helping to develop trust and a bond between the two of you. Another one is that don't say, because I'm your mother and I said so, that's why. When your kids are trying to negotiate staying up late or going out, that's a huge myth. And the truth is, it works, and it will end in an inappropriate negotiation battle between you and your kids, because you're the parent and you said so. End of story. There's no further discussion. Bribing your children. Don't bribe your children. That's what we're told. It's going to backfire. It's not going to work. And I will say that 98% of the time, that's probably true. We really shouldn't bribe our children, but then there's that 2% of time where we need them to be on their best behavior. That's when I feel it's completely fine to bribe your children. If you need them to sit still through a wedding, and you know that there's a car that they want or a toy that they want, then by all means tell them, if you are on your best behavior and you sit quiet during this, we'll go later on and buy you that car. Just save it for the important times, and it's okay. It's also, I think, a myth when they say that parents shouldn't fight with each other in front of their children. Now, I'll agree that there's many conversations that children don't need to hear, especially if you are arguing. But if this could be done in a low voice, in a respectful manner, and there's no blaming, no name calling, then if you're just simply having a discussion maturely, then it's okay, because in all reality, you're teaching your children how to resolve conflict in a mature manner. Let's see, there's also, I told you guys this before, it's not really the terrible twos, it's more the terrible threes. That was the hardest time that I had when my son was little. And honestly, I am a daycare teacher, and I've worked with all of the age groups except for the babies. I'm not, I feel bad. They cry. I don't know what to do with them. But the 3 and 4 year olds, that's my preferred age, and it's definitely difficult. It's terrible threes. It's not the terrible twos, guys. And they say, another myth is, if you don't rule with an iron fist, then you'll lose control of your children. That's not really a realistic concept. It's pretty impossible to touch base on every single misbehavior that your child has. And you're not going to lose control if you don't rule with an iron fist. It's actually better to stay consistent with your rules. Consistency with your rules is going to, keep you in control with them. The myth that the world is dangerous and scary and our kids need to be protected 24/7. We do. We live in the world can be scary sometimes, and we want to protect our children. That's our first instinct, is to protect our children. But we also live in a world where diversity and understanding is more important than anything right now. So if you're protecting them from every single thing, you can actually do more harm than you can do good. So instead of protecting them from the world, teach them how to take care of themselves. Teach them how to handle different situations. Let them experience things on their own, but make sure that they're making the right choices, the right decisions, and they know right from wrong, and they know how to judge something as safe or unsafe. my favorite myth about parenting, and this actually is a myth about pregnancy, and it is that women are beautiful when they're pregnant. Okay, so yes, women might have a natural pink undertone to their skin, and they're excited and they're happy, so they're smiling, so they have this aura about them, and it's just beaming off of them. But let's be realistic, guys. We put on weight, we waddle. There could be things like spider veins and all these crazy things. So, yeah, supermodels might be beautiful when they're pregnant. Our husbands or your husband is going to be in love with you, and he's going to work, so of course he's going to think you're beautiful. But, realistically, we're just carrying a baby inside ourselves, doing the best that we can to be the best parents that we can. So those were some of my favorite myths about parenting and some of the truths behind the myths. It's kind of funny when you sit there and you think about, you just go into parenting believing some of these things, and you don't actually sit down and examine them and think about them. Parenting is a learn as you go kind of thing, and it's a tough job. It's a really tough job, and it's a job that doesn't end even when your kids become adults. Your parents are still your parents regardless of how old you are. But it is also the most rewarding job that any parent will ever have. I'd love to hear from you guys and hear some of the parenting myths that you find funny, or, some of your favorite parenting myths. So leave some comments below, and thanks for jumping on and listening. Have a good night.